Hey, welcome to the Explainer. So, if you're gearing up for that Amazon SageMaker certification, you already know that practice questions are pretty much gold. That's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to tear apart a classic exam question bit by bit to really hone your skills and make sure you're ready for the big day. All right, let's jump right in. Here is the practice question we're going to break down. Now, read the wording carefully, streamline, data preparation, and pay super close attention to visually clean and transform. Trust me, these keywords are your biggest clues. And here are your 4 options. Now look, each of these is a really powerful SageMaker service in its own right, but only one of them is the perfect answer for this specific job. Have a look. Any guesses? And if you picked D, you absolutely nailed it. The answer is, of course, Amazon SageMaker Data Wrangler. But here's the thing, right? On the actual exam, just getting the answer isn't enough. Real confidence, the kind that gets you through the tough questions, comes from knowing exactly why it's the right choice, and maybe even more importantly, why the other options are totally wrong. So let's dig in. Okay, so that huge clue I mentioned, the absolute key to unlocking this whole question is that one little word, visual. This is where SageMaker Data Wrangler really shines and what makes it stand out from the pack. And what's kind of funny is, if you look at the official description for Data Wrangler, it's almost a perfect match for the question. Its whole reason for being is to simplify what can be a super complex and, let's be honest, tedious process of prepping data for machine learning. This right here shows you its core power. You pull your data in, and this is the magic part, you get this visual point-and-click interface. You can apply transformations, find problems, and clean everything up, all without having to write a ton of code. That middle step, that visual part, that's exactly what the question was asking about. So we're solid on why Data Wrangler is the right answer. But to really become a SageMaker pro, you've got to get good at the process of elimination. Let's take a quick look at the other choices, the distractors, and figure out why they just don't fit here. So this is a really important distinction, and it's all about timing. Data Wrangler is for the doing, the active process of cleaning up your data. Feature Store, that comes after. It's a special place to store, share, and serve up those nice, clean features that are ready for ML. Think of it like this. Data Wrangler is the workshop, and Feature Store is the finished parts warehouse. Now, this next one can be a little tricky. SageMaker Pipelines is all about automating and orchestrating the whole shebang, tying all the different steps of an ML project together. In fact, you might even have a Data Wrangler job as one step inside a pipeline. But the pipeline itself isn't what's doing the visual cleaning. It's more like the conductor of the orchestra, not the musician actually playing the instrument. And last but not least, we have SageMaker Clarify. This one is probably the easiest to knock off the list. Clarify has a completely different job. It's all about helping you find potential bias in your data and explaining how your model is making its predictions. So it's all about fairness and transparency, not that initial data prep work. Okay, we've picked it all apart, so let's put it back together into a simple, really powerful takeaway, something that's going to stick with you when you're sitting in that exam and the clock is ticking away. Think of this table as your secret weapon, your mental cheat sheet for the exam. Seriously, when a question pops up, your job is to scan for these keywords. You see anything about visual prep? Boom. Your mind should instantly jump to Data Wrangler. You see centralized repo? That's a dead giveaway for Feature Store. And workflow automation? Well, that's practically screaming SageMaker pipelines. Making these connections on the fly, that's how you save critical time. Look, if you only remember one single thing from this entire explainer, please make it this. That exact phrase, visually clean and transform data, that's the trigger. You need to train your brain to make that connection instantly. You see that phrase, you think Data Wrangler. It's as simple as that. So now that you've got this, you're not just ready for one exam question. You're actually better prepared to think like a machine learning engineer and pick the right tool for the right job. Because at the end of the day, the real goal isn't just about passing a test, right? It's about knowing how to use this stuff in the real world. Thanks for tuning in.